What if three peak condition Leviathans suddenly appeared in the modern South Pacific? Could they tear through the entire food chain and reclaim dominance over this ocean? Right now, in the dark deep waters of the South Pacific, near the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, a silent spatial distortion quietly erupts, accompanied by severe distortion of seawater. Three ultimate prehistoric nightmares vanished for 12 million years, shatter the barriers of time and space, descending into the modern deep sea. They are Leviathan, Malvelet, sharing their fame with Megalodon as the ultimate Cenozoic marine predators. They are the absolute emperors of the Miocene Ocean. Each boasts a length of 17 meters and a terrifying weight of 65 tons, with jaws lined with 36-centimeter bone-crushing teeth and a maximum bite force of 12 tons. But in their first second in the modern ocean, what welcomes these ancient sea gods is not submission, but a deadly mismatch of survival laws. Native to subtropical shallow seas, which are warm year-round, they now face freezing polar deep waters. The bone-chilling cold instantly penetrates their thick fat layer. To maintain body heat, the three massive ancient engines are forced into overdrive. Accompanying this loss of temperature is a wave of extreme hunger that threatens to tear them apart. Driven by this hunger, these three ancient tyrants recklessly assert their dominance, using super sonar far superior to modern toothed whales. They instantly lock onto a feast. A modern adult blue whale, 22 meters long and weighing 80 tons. Small and medium-sized baleen whales were always their favorite snacks in their ancient diet. Though massive, this blue whale is just a slow-moving mountain of meat to the prehistoric reapers. Facing this prey, the three whale kings charge like heavy deep-sea torpedoes, trailing violent currents in the dark water. Charging simultaneously, the leading beast ignores soft spots and savagely clamps down on the blue whale's massive lower jaw. A 12-ton hydraulic bite violently snaps shut. Its still saw teeth instantly pierce thick muscle and bone like cutting through rotten wood. The blue whale lets out a muffled wail, its massive body struggling and rolling violently, but the other two leviathans have already sealed off its escape. Terrifying teeth embed into the blue whale's flanks. In a deadly rolling tear, they rip off tons of flesh. This absolute giant of the modern ocean has no chance to escape. Over half its head is directly crushed. Thick blood erupts like a submarine volcano, instantly dyeing kilometers of the ocean red. But this soaring stench of blood and reckless slaughter provokes the outrage of the current rulers of these waters. Just half an hour later, an elite apex predator squad of 20 adult male killer whales silently completes an In the evolutionary memory of modern killer whales, they have never seen such bizarre creatures with armor-red, square-shaped giant heads, but high intelligence and territorial awareness. These black and white killers attack without hesitation, dispersing, swimming around, and using try to exploit blind spots in a war of attrition. In their eyes, anything lacking high mobility will eventually be bled to death. Facing elite assassins darting around, the three satiated prehistoric tyrants neither panic nor form a defensive formation. The absolute arrogance of ancient apex predators forbids them from being provoked by underwater wolves barely 8 meters long. The massacre erupts without warning, as the first wave of killer whales uses bubble nets and high-frequency communication to sneak into blind spots. The Leviathans unleash a low-frequency shockwave that feels almost physical. This isn't just a terrifying sonic weapon. The highly penetrating sonar acts like a heavy hammer, smashing directly into the killer whale's auditory nerves. It causes deadly physical paralysis in the closest ones. One Leviathan suddenly spins its 65-ton massive body and counterattacks the paralyzed killer whale. Its thick, heavily ossified square skull becomes an unstoppable battering ram, smashing down with apocalyptic muffled sound of shattering bones erupts in the deep sea. The targeted adult killer whale, organs and chest cavity included, is instantly crushed into pulp, dying on the spot. The killer whale pod's proud teamwork instantly cracks. Two enraged killer whales take the chance to bite another king's flank, but reality gives them a desperate lesson. Teeth that can easily tear great white sharks cannot penetrate the prehistoric reapers. 20-centimeter dense fat Their attacks fail completely. The ancient tyrant's counterattack, however, is pure physical devastation. An abyssal maw snaps open, locking onto a killer whale that couldn't dodge in time. Snapping shut with terrifying power, the 6-ton elite is literally bitten in half by the 36-centimeter teeth. Organs and blood instantly burst into the seawater. In just over 10 17 of the 20 killer whales are killed in action. The 3 remaining survivors have their fighting spirit utterly destroyed by this bloody violence. Covered in severe wounds, they flee frantically toward the deep ocean. All 3 ancient gods of war sustained only negligible skin scratches. They remain in this sea of blood. But the apex predator of the modern ocean has terrifying social and revenge instincts. A few hours later, a true deep-sea slaughterhouse descends. The 3 escapees bring back the largest pelagic killer whale family of the entire South Pacific. Male killer whales, plus the previous 3, form a super squadron of 31 whales, resealing this dead zone. This time, there is no probing, no retreating. The 31 black and white killers launch the most brutal swarm charge like a dense barrage of deep-sea torpedoes. The modern sea gods completely change their tactics, no longer attacking the indestructible heads. Instead, they attack in waves, biting down on the skin, scratches left from the first round, frantically tearing at the soft underbelly, even taking turns to ram, and using their bodies to block the prehistoric beasts' surfacing routes for air. Facing this endless war of attrition, the three Leviathans quickly form a indestructible, deep-sea defensive formation. This bloodbath across geological eras becomes tragically brutal beyond reason, facing frantic biting from all directions. The two largest prehistoric veterans take the outer ring, turning into massive meat shields to protect their smaller companion in the middle. Even with their tail flukes torn apart, their bellies ripped with deep bloody gashes, and every tail flick accompanied by tearing agony. These two ancient gods of war hold their positions. In a desperate melee lasting over an hour, the two bloody behemoths still rely on their extreme bite force. Before dying, they manage to bite through the spines of 14 killer whales. But severe blood loss ultra-high intensity anaerobic exertion finally collapse their massive butt. The two whale kings exhaust their last ounce of life and tragically sink into the dark abyss. Their deaths completely snap the last Leviathan's thread of reason. The prehistoric Reaper's berserk instincts are fully ignited, dragging its battered body. It abandons all defense. Like a giant torpedo detonating underwater, it smashes through the killer whale's remaining defense line with devastating force. Its armored skull shatters the ribs of the frontline killer whales. Its jaw, despite being fractured, snaps wildly, and in an extremely barbaric close-quarter slaughter, it tears another 7 killer whales to pieces. The long massacre finally ends. This super squadron of 31 killer whales loses 24 in total. Including the first round, exactly 41 apex elites of the modern ocean are buried here forever. The psychological defenses of the remaining 7 killer whales are completely shattered by the prehistoric violence. Breaking rank, they flee the area. The boiling seawater gradually calms. The dark deep blue has been dyed a murky scarlet by tens of tons of blood. Amidst the gore and shattered bones, only the sole survivor of this bloodbath remains. The Leviathan struggles to float on the surface, its tail fluke near covered in bone-deep lacerations. It has lost its peak dominance. Yet, using the most barbaric and brutal methods, it literally tore through the modern ocean's food chain. But in this unfamiliar world, there are no kin left. This ancient king, having lost its companions, floats alone on the silent icy sea. Toward the vast, empty night sky, it lets out a desolate wail, the last echo of the prehistoric era left to this world. But this tragic cry does not bring peace to the ocean. Instead, it acts like a desperate war rally. Hundreds of nautical miles away, the ocean's largest, ultimate modern killer whale family, comprising 45 adult elites, hears the dying wails of their kind. They are assembling into a massive black army, fueled by the fury of revenge, ready to launch a final, fatal strike on this heavily wounded prehistoric whale king. Just as this massive modern black and white legion rapidly maneuvers and is about to reach the battlefield, the seabed of the entire area suddenly erupts with an unprecedented blinding blue light. An extreme spatial explodes from the trench, instantly swallowing this superpod that represents the peak of modern marine intelligence and tactics. When these 45 modern elite killer whales break the surface for air again, what greets them is no longer the familiar cold wind of the South Pacific. It is the mid-Miocene shallow sea with water temperatures over 30 degrees. They are in the prehistoric era, 12 million years ago. Also greeting the modern killer whale pod from all directions are multiple terrifying sonar locks belonging to Peaks Condition, Megalodons, and Leviathans. At this moment, the tactical peak of the modern ocean officially plummets into prehistoric hell.